solving linear equations involving fractions. Now, whenever we hear the word fractions, a lot of us like to get a little uptight because we think the problem is going to be difficult. Let's write down an example of a linear equation involving a fraction, and we'll learn an easy way to make this somewhat difficult problem look easy. So 3y over 4 plus 5y over 2 equals 13. Now, first of all, is this a linear equation? Well, again, I'll look at my variable y, and I'll notice that the power is 1 on each of them, so that is indeed a linear equation. Now, what we want to do is we want to try to get rid of the fractions. We need to know what this stands for, LCD. This is going to stand for the least common denominator. What is the least common denominator? Well, it is the smallest number such that each denominator will divide into. I could actually think of 13 to have a denominator of 1. So let's see. I'm looking for the smallest number that a 4, a 2, and a 1 will all go into. And of course, in this problem, our LCD is 4. Okay? Now, I said we're going to try to make this problem a little easier. Again, I came up with an LCD of 4. There's one nice step involved to make this a much easier problem, and that is we're going to multiply every piece of our linear equation by that LCD. So I'm going to multiply this piece by a 4. I will multiply this one by a 4, and I'll multiply that one by a 4. Now let's multiply. Well, notice our 4's cancel, and I get 3y. My 2 will cancel with the 4, make that a 2. And so I'll distribute. 2 times 5y is 10y. And 4 times 13 is 52. Now with one small step, I've got it into a fairly easy linear equation involving no fractions at all. And now we'll just combine our like terms on the left. And we can divide by 13. Y is equal to 4. Now remember, you should always check, put your 4 back into the equation, but I won't in this case to save on some time. Let's try another example. Let's use the variable a. A minus 5 over 3 plus 2a plus 1 over 4 is equal to 1 over 6. Now remember, again, I know this is a linear equation because my variable a is to the power of 1 in both cases. So I know it's linear. Let's find the LCD. Well, what's the smallest number that a 3, a 4, and a 6 can all go into? With a little bit of thought, we can see that our LCD is a 12. So remember, to get rid of the fractions, we'll multiply each term by the LCD, or we'll multiply each term by a 12. And I'll put parentheses to represent multiplication. And let's go ahead and multiply. My 3 will cancel with the 12 and make that a 4, so I get a 4 times a minus 5. My 4 will cancel with this 12 and make that a 3. So I get a plus 3 times 2a plus 1. And the 6 goes in there once, equals 2. Now notice my fractions are now gone. Now it's a matter of distributing, combining like terms, and solving. Let's distribute the 4 through this parenthesis. 4 times a is 4a. 4 times minus 5 is negative 20. We'll distribute the 3 through this parenthesis. 3 times 2a is 6a. 3 times a 1 is 3. And after each step, the problem becomes simpler and simpler. Let's combine our like terms. 4a and 6a, remember we add the coefficients together, is 10a. Negative 20 and 3 is a negative 17 equals 2. Let's see, we want to solve for a, so let's make sure the a's are on one side and everything else is on the other. So we can add 17 to both sides. We get 10a on the left is equal to 19. And then finally dividing by 10, a is equal to 19 tenths. Remember, some textbooks like this notation, that the solution set is just the element 19 tenths. So either of these are equivalent to each other. Some textbooks like this, some like this.